It says it will meet with NAACP reps to discuss what they are saying. Now, the liberal media sure is not shy when it comes to speculating on this allegations of collusion between President Trump and Russia.
Russian connection just keeps building, and every time it builds and expands, you have to wonder if Trump himself isn't worried about what's swirling around under the covers.
CNN has learned new details of the FBI investigation into potential links between individuals associated with the Trump campaign and the Russian government.
Specifically, Willie, I think what it means is that a federal judge found that people in Trump's organization were colluding with the Russians.
Was there somebody inside the Trump campaign who was working with them? And did the president know about that? And were they successful?
Now, Republican House Oversight Committee member Ron DeSantis is questioning just how far the media go with this anti-Trump file story, the dossier story. Watch.
It's just bizarre. I mean, the media spent so much time on Trump, Russia, so-called collusion. Still, many months later, no evidence of that. But if you look, not only with the uranium one, but then in this instance, how the Democrats have really worked with Russian nationals for a variety of reasons. And this is something that people affiliated with Fusion GPS denied repeatedly. And it turns out they weren't telling the American people the truth. They were involved with this.
Let's take a look at some media stocks. 21st Century Fox and Disney closing the day in the red, while Comcast and CBS ending the day higher. Let's bring in former Trump campaign chief operating officer Jeff DeWitt. Good to see you, Jeff.
Great to see you, Liz. Thanks for having me.
So it looks like the media is reporting on this, the DNC and Hillary Clinton campaign funding the anti-Trump dossier file story. What do you think of the coverage right now?
Well, I think they're being forced to finally look into this. I don't think they have a choice. But how amazing and what a tangled web the Democrats do weave, where they come up with this fake dossier that funded by the Hillary Clinton campaign and the DNC with Russian sources to try to discredit President Trump, or then candidate Trump. And now it turns around that they're the ones that have been colluding with Russia. And the amazing thing, as you pointed out earlier, this dossier was used to get wiretaps in Trump Tower. This was used to get a special prosecutor appointed.
That's a speculation. We think that's what that's what intelligence officials we've talked to believe. They speculate but you agree with that, right?
It seems by all the evidence out there that was the case. You know, there's evidence out there that the FBI actually paid some of the cost of this dossier, which that's a severe misuse of taxpayer funds if that's the case. I know as state treasurer. This thing now is coming to light. If the Russians were involved in any sort of activity in the campaign, it was to help Hillary Clinton. And this absolutely vindicates President Trump and goes along with what he's been saying the entire time. Again, it's another instance of President Trump winning. But this now needs to be used to get a special prosecutor on the Hillary Clinton campaign to look at their ties with the Russian government and the Uranium One deal. There is a huge mountain of evidence out there about Uranium One. Where's the special prosecutor about that? That was done in broad daylight, and that needs to be investigated. This is obviously turning around on the Democrats very, very hard, and I love to see it. You know, we had so many great men and women work so hard in that campaign. The president worked so hard in that campaign. There was no collusion with any foreign governments from our campaign, and it's nice to see us all be vindicated right now, and that President Trump won the election fair and square, and he is the president. And now we can hopefully move forward with getting his agenda across.
Jeff, the Uranium One story has national security implications with Russians,
yes.
The Russian-backed firm, the state-owned firm, controlling a fifth of U.S. uranium. Now, they're saying that it'll stay here and won't be used for export. But the fact remains that Russia also has helped Iran build a nuclear reactor, the same company that invested in Uranium One, and it's helped Venezuela as well. What do you think, Jeff?
Well, and it all goes back to what everyone says was a monumental contribution of $100 million or more to the Clinton Foundation when this all went down, when she was Secretary of State. Where's the investigation on that? So you're exactly right, Liz. I'm glad to see the media finally on top of this in the right direction, but this is going to get to be a bigger issue, and this very well could be the Watergate of our time, this right here.
Jeff DeWitt, we love having you on. Come back soon.
Thanks, Liz.